They prayed, they obeyed, they fasted, they walked in purity, and still their world collapsed. Why does it seem that the ones closest to God often suffer the most? What kind of God calls you chosen and then lets you bleed? Today, we uncover the hidden truth churches rarely talk about. Why God allows His most faithful people to go through the hardest suffering. And by the end of this video, you'll understand what that pain really means. Everyone loves the story of Joseph in the palace, but few talk about Joseph in the prison. He was only 17 when God gave him dreams of leadership and divine promotion. But right after that, he was betrayed, thrown in a pit, sold into slavery, wrongfully accused, left in a prison cell for 13 years. If we went through that, we'd assume God had abandoned us. Yet God was with him, even while the chains were on. And that's just one example. Moses, David, Esther, Paul, even Jesus. The pattern is clear. Being chosen by God does not mean you'll be shielded from pain. In fact, those who are marked are often tested first. And we have to ask, why? Let's look at Moses, called to liberate a nation, but spends 40 years in hiding. David, anointed king, but chased and hunted in caves. Job, called blameless, but devastated, tested, and shattered. And Jesus, righteous, holy, divine, and yet abandoned, beaten, crucified. You can't ignore this. The higher the calling, the deeper the crushing. But is suffering just a test, or is it something deeper? Most Christians are never told this. God doesn't inflict pain, but He may allow it for a divine reason.
One of those reasons? Refinement. Not punishment, preparation. Before God can lift you, He has to strip you. Strip you of pride, false confidence, self-dependence, and even approval addiction. Not to break you, but to build you unshakable. Now listen to this. When you're called to carry something eternal, God won't let you build your life on temporary things. So He allows storms, not to drown you, but to develop you. Remember Joseph? Before wearing Pharaoh's ring, he wore iron chains. What looked like delay was actually disguise, divine training. Psalm 105 says, God sent Joseph ahead. He was sold as a slave. Until the time came to fulfill his dreams, the word of the Lord tested him. That dream you have, that prophecy, it will test you before it promotes you. God uses pressure to prepare you for purpose. Suffering doesn't mean you've lost God's favor. It means He's refining your faith. David said, "It was good for me to be afflicted, so I could learn your statutes." You only say that kind of thing after the fire. The mountain looks different when you've walked through the valley. Gold shines brightest after fire removes the impurities. Grapes release wine only when crushed, and oil flows only when the olive is pressed. God's glory is placed in vessels that have been broken, crushed, and made whole by Him. God allows His chosen ones to suffer because they're called to carry something heavier than comfort, eternal impact. Jesus said in John 16, "In this world you will have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world." That tells us two things. One, suffering is part of the journey, even for the faithful. Two, God's victory is promised if we endure. What you're going through may seem unfair, brutal, lonely,
but God is not absent. He's near. He's not fixing the fire. He's in it with you. Because the fire isn't meant to burn you. It's meant to build you.
Every hardship is shaping you for something bigger than you can even imagine right now. So if you're suffering, if you've cried silently, if you've whispered, "God, where are you?" Here's the answer. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are trusted. God allows the suffering of His chosen because He is preparing them to carry something heavier, something eternal. Anyone can praise God on the mountain, but it's in the fire that worship becomes real. And those who rise from the ashes, those are the ones He uses to shift families, nations, generations. That includes you. If this word has spoken to you, don't keep quiet about it. Comment below. God, I believe in you, even in my pain. Let that be your prayer and your declaration. Subscribe for more deep, truth-centered Bible teachings that feed your soul and prepare your spirit. And listen, don't just click off. Don't just move on. Share this video with someone who's been crying in silence. Someone who's been questioning if God still sees them. Send it as a lifeline, a spark of hope. Because maybe this message was never just for you. Maybe it was meant to heal someone else too. You're not buried. You're planted. And when the time is right, you will rise.